Hi there, I'm Tim Ross from My RØDE Reel, and welcome to the Power of the Short. In this episode, I catch up with filmmaking brothers Kiah and Tristan Roache-Turner, makers of the hit indie zombie flick Wyrmwood, about how making a short film proved a direct line to making a feature. Talk us through the process of the first films you made and, and what you did with them.
The first ever little project we made was actually like a tiny little black and white film that we shot like at our home, and I think I was probably like 13 years old. We shot it in black and white, and I did my own special effects, just got like soggy toilet paper and covered it in like chocolate sauce. And then we sat down and we got my mum in. We're like, "Oh mum, watch this, come in. Come in." She sits down and she's like sitting there, I'm on one side, Kia's on the other side, and we show her this and she's like, "Oh, what have you done to my baby?" Starts sobbing. And I'm like, "Mum, like I am right here. Obviously
I don't
I'm
think
okay."
he's dead. Yeah, he's all right. Yeah.
And then after that, we're like, "Yeah, you know what?
The power of
we
cinema.
can actually do like some scary sort of stuff." Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. So I think that was the first one we did, but we made heaps of short films, lots of video clips and stuff. So we've been making stuff since we were kids, basically. But we made a short for Wyrmwood, which was like a little 7-minute teaser scene back in 2010. And I guess it would be called a proof of concept. And just decided, oh, let's just chuck it up online. And that went viral. So I think that got like 300,000 hits in like the first week, and we were just like, oh, that's awesome.
And when did you say, look, you know, we're going to go for this, this is it?
The 5D DSLR came out, we just went, there's no reason not to make a feature now, because like that camera came out and it's like, it looks like film. So we just went, okay, that's it, we're going to make one. And we came up with the concept for Wyrmwood, and we just spent the next 4 years doing it.
I had this dream that me and Kiah, obviously we're brothers, we were like running through the bush together. It was like a full hectic like action scene. We're like, oh, and we just came like across this cliff and we both just started teetering across the edge. And I was like, let's just fucking jump, man. He's like, yeah, we both just jumped. And it wasn't scary, it was just like super exciting, but that was sort of like the kick-off point. I think not long after that. Yeah, not long after that, we both.
I had a dream.
Yeah.
Like
I have a dream.
That is literally the central theme of Bush Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Yeah.
What's the trick, you reckon, to writing a good short?
I reckon get crazy.
Yeah, I think, definitely. You've got to have like a hook that people are just like, whoa. There are two questions in that. Like, what's the secret to a successful short film? I think, as Tristan says, you want to have something in it that is something people have never seen before and is shocking and interesting and amazing.
Punchy.
Something they can talk about, a hook, for sure. But also, you've got to be able to structure it well. So, you know, tell it well, have a big ending.
Play to your strengths, you know. If you're a really good, you know, storyteller and you're very dramatic and you love drama, obviously that's the kind of thing you want to go for. If you're not so good with that and you're better with the action, like stick with that. So really just play with your strengths. And really, you know, if you're making your first film and it's got no budget, you're just using whatever resources you got, and you know your parents and your family and your friends are just going to be in that sort of central nucleus, you know.
I think you get to do that once in your life. You can get all of your friends and your family together and they all help you for an extended period of time and they give to your Kickstarter campaign. Once.
One of the interesting things about this conversation is when we talk about shorts for you, they are a means to an end. Is that how you see them?
I reckon you can't ever go wrong doing a short. Like, what we're finding is that sometimes there's a large amount of time between feature film projects, and what do? You can't just sit around twiddling your thumbs in that time. And I also reckon you can't just sit around like writing or, you know, developing. Like, you have to stick behind the camera. And we just spent the last 12 months doing it. We did actually like 2 teaser scenes in the last 12 months, which are essentially sort of like short films, you know. And we learnt so much from doing that. Like, our production capabilities stepped up like monumentally. So I think it's really important to stay at the coal front of production and keep making cool stuff.
Yeah, and for us it's a big deal. You know, we just made, as Tristan said, 2 teasers for these 2 massive projects that we've got coming up, which is like this big sci-fi horror feature film that we're doing and a TV series based on Wyrmwood. And so we've done, in the last 12 months, we did 2 pretty epic teasers for both of those projects. And we learned so much. You know, for the feature, you know, we had to build the costumes, we had to do sets, we had to test VFX, you know, we had to build creature costumes, physical stunts, like so much stuff. So all of that stuff will go into the feature and it will be 10 times better because we've been able to practice on our short version of the the project.
And it's just a shit ton of fun. Like, you know, you get a couple of people together shooting over the weekends and again, edit it all together. And it's a lot of hard work and a lot of sweat, blood and tears go into it. But again, when you get that final little project that you can just look at and go, yeah, we just made that. Like, that's great. It gets people really psyched and amped.
Being the masters of a low, no budget, from a technical point of view, any things that you learn along the way when it comes to cameras and sound that you could impart some wisdom on the kid for the kids?
It's ironic that we're doing this interview because sound is so important. Like, it is so important, and that is the one big mistake, other than get actors who can actually act, sort of young, inexperienced filmmakers make. They obsess so much on the writing and the concept and the imagery and how it looks that they forget that if you don't have good sound, it looks shit. It doesn't matter whether you could work with the greatest cinematographer in the history of the cinema. You could have the biggest budget for your cameras in the world, and if you don't have good sound, it will look shit, which is really weird. So the way it looks is so much informed by how it sounds. So get a good sound guy, get a good mic, underline that, and you know, you're gonna be okay.